Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Om Gyanatinanda Shagjananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Urminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Vishesha Sunnivari Pashita Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shri Mate Vir Krishna Das Gosaminiti Namine Namo Hamsane Kashaya Prabhupada Prayate Sudrida Sudhi Nistyamyam Tasha Bhaktinivadine. Reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, as we do each Saturday. And last week we started a new chapter of the passage of Sanatana Goswami to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we heard about their ordeal with the innkeeper. And now this is the wrap-up and the onward journey. And starting at text 34. Taba parahanya goshani puchila ishane jani shesha dravya kichu ache tomastane. After crossing the hills, Sanatana Goswami told his servant, Ishan, I think you still have some balance left from the gold coins. Ishan kahe eka mohara ache ave shesha goshani kahe mohara lanya yaha tumi desha. Ishan replied, I still have one gold coin in my possession. Sanatana Goswami then said, take the coin and return to your home. So here, after the whole ordeal, and Ishan brought along so many gold coins, and it caught Sanatana Goswami unawares, he's thinking, okay, I've got to lighten my load and move on without any encumbrances. So he told Ishan, take the coin and go home. Dare vidaya diya goshani chalilai kala ate karonya chinda kanta nirbhaya haila. After departing from Ishan, Sanatana Goswami began traveling alone with a water pot in his hand. Simply covered with a torn quilt, he thus lost all his anxiety. And then he was completely in mendicant and surrendered mode without any encumbrances or material burden. Chali chali goshani tabe aila haji pore sandhya kale vishila eka uyana bitare. Walking and walking, Sanatana Goswami finally arrived at a place called Hajipura. That evening, he sat down within a garden. Sei Hajipure rahe Sri Kanta Taranama Goshanira Bhagini Patikare Rajakama. In Hajipura there was a gentleman named Sri Kanta, who happened to be the husband of Sanatana Goswami's sister. He was engaged there in government service. That's his brother-in-law. Tina laksha mudra raja diyache tarastane goda mulya lanya pataya patsarastane. Sri Kanta had 300,000 gold coins with him, which had been given to him by the emperor for the purchase of horses. Thus, Sri Kanta was buying horses and dispatching them to the emperor. Tungi oparavashi se goshanire dekila ratre ekajana sange goshani pasaila. When Sri Kanta was sitting in an elevated place, he could see Sanatana Goswami. That night, he took a servant and went to see Sanatana Goswami. Dui jana mili tata ista gosti kaila bandana mokshana kata goshani sakali kahila. When they met, they had many conversations. Sanatana Goswami told him in detail about his arrest and release. Tenho kahe dina dui raha e stane badrahao chada e malina vashane. Sri Kanta then told Sanatana Goswami, stay here for at least 2 days and dress up like a gentleman. Abandon these dirty garments. Goshani kahe eka shana iha na rahiba ganga para kari deha e shane kaliba. Sanatana Goswami replied, I shall not stay here, even for a moment. Please help me cross the Ganges. I shall leave immediately. Yatna kari tenho eka bota kambala dila ganga para kari dila goshani chalila. With great care, Sri Kanta gave him a woolen blanket and helped him cross the Ganges. Thus Sanatana Goswami departed again. Tabe Varanasi Goshani Aila Kata Dine Suni Anandita Haila Prabhura Gamane. After a few days, Sanatana Goswami arrived at Varanasi. He was very pleased to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival there. So we can see, even though Sanatana Goswami had this invitation from his brother-in-law to stay, rest, change, shower, he was very, very, very anxious to see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was casting off all of that familial and material burden. Chandra Shekarera Gara Asi Tvarete Vasila Mahaprabhu Jani Chandra Shekare Kahila. Sanatana Goswami then went to the house of Chandra Shekhar and sat down by the door. Understanding what was happening, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Chandra Shekhar. Dvari eka Vaishnava haya bolaha tanhare Chandra Shekhar deke Vaishnava nahika dvare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, there is a devotee at your door. Please call him in. Going outside, Chandra Shekhar could not see a Vaishnava at his door. Dvarete Vaishnava nahi prabhure kahila kehe haya kari prabhu tahare puchila. When Chandra Shekhar informed the Lord that no Vaishnava was at his door, the Lord asked him, is there anyone at all at your door? Tenho kahe eka daravesha ache dvare tanra ana prabhura vikvakye kahila tanhare. Chandra Shekhar replied, there is a Muslim mendicant. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately said, please bring him here. Chandra Shekhar then spoke to Sanatana Goswami, who was still sitting beside the door. Eka Daravesha, one Muslim mendicant, Daravesha. Prabhu Tomaya Bola Aisha Daravesha Suni Anande Sanatana Karila Pravesha. O Muslim mendicant, please come in. The Lord is calling you. Sanatana Goswami was very pleased to hear this order, and he entered Chandra Shekhar's house. So Sanatana Goswami, even though he was so eager, and sitting outside the door and just waiting very patiently. And Chandrasekhar came out once, and he must have seen Chandrasekhar come out, but he didn't speak. He didn't try to force his way in. He didn't, he waited patiently and silently until Chandrasekhar invited him in at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's insistence. Tanhare angane deki prabhu danaila tanre alingana kari prema vishta haila. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Sanatana Goswami in the courtyard, he immediately went up to him with great haste. After embracing him, the Lord was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Finally, his close associate. Text 52. Prabhu sparshe prema vista haila sanatana morana chunniha kahe gadgara vachana. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched Sanatana Goswami, Sanatan was also overwhelmed with ecstatic love. In a faltering voice he said, "Oh my Lord, do not touch me." Dui jane kala kali rodana apara deki chandra shekarera haila chamatkara. Shoulder to shoulder, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami began to cry unlimitedly. Chandrasekhar was very much astonished to see this. Tabe Prabhu tanrahata dhari lanya gela pindara upare apana pashe vasaila. Catching his hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Sanatana Goswami inside and made him sit on an elevated place next to him. Wow. Sri haste karena tanranga samarjana tenho kahe more prabhu nakara sparshana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began cleansing Sanatana Goswami's body with his own transcendental hand, Sanatana Goswami said, "Oh my Lord, please do not touch me." Prabhu kahe, Toma sparshi atma pavitrite bhakti balaye para tumi brahmanda sodite. The Lord replied, "I am touching you just to purify myself, because by the force of your devotional service, you can purify the whole universe. Bhavad vida bhagavatas tirta bhuta swayam prabhu tirti kurvanti tirtani svantastena gadabrata. Saints of your caliber are themselves places of pilgrimage. Because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This verse was spoken by Maharaj Yudhisthira to Vidura in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 10. Vidura was returning home after visiting sacred places of pilgrimage, and Maharaj Yudhisthira was receiving his saintly uncle. In essence, Maharaj Yudhisthira was saying, "My dear Lord Vidura, you yourself are a holy place because you are an advanced devotee. People like you always carry Lord Vishnu in their hearts. You can revitalize all holy places after they have been polluted by the pilgrimage of sinners. A sinful person goes to a holy place of pilgrimage to be purified. In a holy place, there are many saintly people and temples of Lord Vishnu. However, the holy place becomes infected with the sins of many visitors. When an advanced devotee goes to a holy place, he counteracts all the sins of the pilgrims. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhisthira addresses Vidura in this way. Since an advanced devotee carries Lord Vishnu within his heart, he is a moving temple and a moving Vishnu. An advanced devotee does not need to go to holy places for wherever he stays is a holy place. In this connection, Narottama Das Thakur states, Tirtha yatra parishrama kevala manera brahma. Prama. Visiting holy places is simply another type of bewilderment. Since an advanced devotee does not need to go to a holy place, why does he go? The answer is that he goes simply to purify the place. So this has been quite a long journey of Sanatana Goswami. He sort of planned this for a very long time to join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and with great effort and determination, he threw off all of his material shackles. He gave away all of his riches. He renounced his position, his high position. He renounced his social position. He just had that sole goal to reach the Lord's lotus feet. And now we can see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is recognizing that in some fashion. He's understanding that devotional service in his mind and heart was had transformed him in a sort of a very exalted personality. He was, and recognizing that. And it reminds me of, I hear sometimes people are protesting, why go to the holy dham when, there's advanced devotees about. And they say, when we hear Ohe Vaishnav Thakur, that the Vaishnavas can purify the most wretched places and people, simply by their glance. So we're hearing that from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. Name bhaktas chaturvedi mad bhakta swapacha priya tasmai deyam tato grayam sacha pujyo yatatyaham. Lord Krishna said, even though a person is a very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog-eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respects should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. Purport. This is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, Chapter 10, Text 127, compiled by Sanatana Goswami. So, and now we're hearing the Lord say this, and Prabhupada spoke a lot about the purificatory acts that he gave us, which is, the main is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, associating with the devotees, engaging in devotional service, and obviously when we engage in devotional service, we try our best to engage in pure devotional service, means without any personal motive or benefit. And that is the main way that we can purify ourselves in this age of Kali, of which we are already so polluted from so many lifetimes. We have this very rare opportunity as devotees, as Vaishnavas, by the grace of our spiritual master, to engage in this devotional service. And it's not a light thing. It's not an easy thing. It's as Prabhupada said quite often, the fire of ordeal, and by our devotional ordeal and our determination, that's how we progress in this practice. Very important. Vipradva satgunayat yutar aravinda nabha pararavinda vumukka swapacham varishtam manyetararpita manovachane hitarta pranam punati sakulam natu buri mana. One may be born in a Brahmana family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but if he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmana family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must become a pure devotee of the Lord. If a Swapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his whole family. Whereas a Brahmana who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahminical qualifications, cannot even purify himself, what to speak of his family. Purport. This verse is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 10. A Brahmana is supposed to be qualified with 12 qualities as stated in the Mahabharata. Dharmascha satyam cha tamas tapascha amatsaryam hristitikshanu shuya yagnascha danam cha driti srutam cha vratani vaidvarasa brahmanasya. A Brahmana must be perfectly religious. He must be truthful and he must be able to control his senses. He must execute severe austerities and he must be detached, humble, and tolerant. He must not envy anyone and he must be expert in performing sacrifices and giving whatever he has in charity. He must be fixed in devotional service and expert in the knowledge of the Vedas. These are the 12 qualifications for a Brahmana. The Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 18, Text 42, describes the Brahminical qualities in this way. Samodhamastapasaucham shantirarjavamevacha jnanam vidyanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. Those are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. In the Mukta Phalatika, it is said, Samodhamastapasocham shantyarjava viraktaya. Sorry, I lost it. Jnana vigyana santosha satyastiketva sadguna. Mental equilibrium, sense control, austerity, cleanliness, tolerance, simplicity, detachment, theoretical and practical knowledge, satisfaction, truthfulness, and firm faith in the Vedas are the 12 qualities of a Brahmana. So this is a verse that all should note. We all should note, particularly myself, because the qualities of a Brahmana are a little elusive for us who have very uncontrollable minds, and we are living in this material world with so many disturbances. And, to maintain 24 hours a day, mental equilibrium, sense control, tolerance, detachment, that's a very tall order, theoretical and practical knowledge. That's a lot of qualities that the Brahmin should work by. I do not profess to be a Brahmin, and Srila Prabhupada has given us this process to come to that platform, which may come to us in this life or maybe the next or the next. But it's certainly what we strive to do, and having those things sort of front and center where we can think about, refer to, and try to imbibe is extremely important in our daily sadhana practice. Because only by Prabhupada's mercy, we heard so many stories when he was installing deities in different places. I think it was just mentioned this week. I know particularly in Australia, he had installed deities and was he was crying, saying, "My Lord, please be tolerant and patient. I'm leaving you in the hands of these mlechas." He was actually forcibly giving us this process of, particularly the Archa Vigraha, by which, as we worship the deity, these are how these qualities develop, is worship the deity. And I'll add that worshiping the deity regularly is, it's very difficult. It's like standing in the fire, but, by that fire of ordeal and fire of purification, we can hopefully begin to take these qualities on. Text 60. Toma deki toma sparshi kai toma raguna sarvendriya palaye shastra nirupana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, by seeing you, by touching you, and by glorifying your transcendental qualities, one can perfect the purpose of all sense activity. This is the verdict of the revealed scriptures. This is confirmed in the following verse from the Hari Bhakta Sudodaya 13:2. Akshno phalam twadrisha darshanam hi tano phalam twadrisha gatri sangha jiva phalam tridrisha kirtanam hi sudalabha bhagavata hi loke. My dear Vaishnava, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of the sense of touch, and glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For in the material world, it is very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord. Just yesterday, I was speaking with a devotee, and he was lamenting that his family is not Krishna conscious. And I explained to him that, being a devotee of Krishna, and particularly in good standing, determined type Vaishnava, is very, very, very rare. It's actually, I was looking one day at the population of the earth now, many billions of people. And, let's say that the population of the Vaishnavas is probably less than 1 million out of this billions on the planet. That's just a minuscule amount of Vaishnava devotees that, are currently walking the planet, almost practically obscure amongst the greater world, the greater earth population. So here we understand that from this verse that it's a rare occurrence to meet a devotee, to meet a Vaishnava, and probably even rarer for those persons, this huge population, to come in touch with the devotee and hear the holy names and actually receive some of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada via that devotee, which is why we go out on Harinams and book distributions and, even in our everyday lives, trying to give that mercy, spread the mercy around of Srila Prabhupada. Only by Prabhupada's mercy was he able to come here and create a world revolution. Even yesterday I was reading, I get this thing, I'm signed up for sort of book distribution stories, or I don't know, it's just kind of Vaishnava meeting others, and particularly reading about in Belgrade, I think that's somewhere in Eastern Europe, Serbia. And Serbia used to be part of Yugoslavia, I believe, and there's been so much strife, and there was a devotee who has been a devotee for quite a long time. He joined when there was a temple in Belgrade at some point in time, and then it fell, and there used to be many Harinam parties, and there used to be lots of books going out in that area, but then at some point everything kind of dried up, withered up. And this person, this devotee, this lone devotee was actually, he has reinitiated this practice of going out and distributing books in this area. And he's been doing this for a little bit of time, maybe a year or two. And he's seeing now that even though the government is corrupt, and he's distributed a lot of books and talked to a lot of people about Krishna, even though the government is quite corrupt and a lot of tyrannic practices, that now with this new kind of infusion, and he was saying it's kind of inexplicable because nothing's direct, but just with that influence that there's so many students in the university that have started to hold very organized and peaceful protests against the government. And many of those students have taken these books of Srila Prabhupada. So, just by one person, and not really with the intention of doing those sorts of things, he's all of a sudden, created by Prabhupada's mercy with the books and with his mood, he's created kind of a little mini revolution that's going on there, peaceful, and there's a bit of a resurgence of Krishna consciousness in this country, which isn't very stable, and there's way more, I would say, way more problems and disturbance with the leadership than there is even in our country, because there it's very oppressive. So just by that one meeting with a Vaishnava, there's so much change going on. Vaishnavas are change makers. Very difficult to find a pure devotee of the Lord. Eta kahi kahe Prabhu suna sanatana Krishna Bada Daya Maya Patita Pavana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "My dear Sanatana, please hear from me. Krishna is very merciful, and he is the deliverer of all fallen souls. Maharorava hatai toma karila udara kripara samudra Krishna gambira para." My dear Sanatana, Krishna has saved you from Maharorava, life's deepest hell. He is an ocean of mercy, and his activities are very grave. Purport, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 61, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Staying within everyone's heart, Lord Krishna works very gravely. No one can understand how he is working, but as soon as the Lord understands the sincere activity of a person in devotional service, he helps him in such a way that the devotee cannot understand how things are happening. If the devotee is determined to serve the Lord is always prepared to help him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami how merciful the Lord is. Sanatana Goswami was a minister in the service of Nawab Hussain Shah. He was always mixing with materially inclined people, particularly with Muslims, meat eaters. Although he was in intimate touch with them, by Krishna's mercy, he came to find such association distasteful. Therefore, he left them. As stated by Srinivasacharya, Twakdiva Turnam Ashesha Mandala Pati Srenim Sada Tuchavat. Krishna enlightened Sanatana Goswami in such a way that he was able to give up his exalted post as minister. Thinking his material position insignificant, Sanatana was prepared to become a mendicant. Appreciating the activities of Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised his action and thanked Krishna for his mercy upon him. We're fortunate enough to have the mercy of the pure devotee, Krishna's pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, who has bestowed so much mercy on us. It's unbelievable. It's actually astonishing. That's why I feel indebted personally, and I think many do, to try to bestow that mercy and to help others realize Krishna is in their heart and that this life that they're leading isn't exactly the best for them. It takes a lot for someone to give up a lot of material, wealth, big position, family. It's pretty rare or practically non-existent, particularly in today's day and age. People aren't able to really pivot in that way. So it's even more important, even by, Prabhupada said, touching a book, or by hearing the holy name, or just a moment's association with a devotee. Those are the things that actually can help to awaken that dormant love for the Lord in their heart. And it's, of course, everyone's flying their own plane. It's up to them. But when we at least try, we have to try, right? We have to actually just simply be there, show up, and try to, point others in the right direction if they want to know. Not everybody wants to take the help. Text 64. Sanatana kahe, Krishna ami nahi jani amara udara hetu tomara kripa mani. Sanatana replied, I do not know who Krishna is. As far as I am concerned, I have been released from prison only by your mercy. So Sanatana Goswami is being very humble, and he can see Lord Chaitanya as his Lord. Kemani chutila bali prabhu prashna kaila adyopanta sabakata tenho sunaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Sanatana Goswami, how were you released from prison? Sanatana then described the story from beginning to end. Prabhu kahe tomara dui bai prayage milila rupa anupana pama dunhe vrindavana gela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I met your two brothers, Rupa and Anupama at Prayag. They have now gone to Vrindavan. Tapana misrere ara chandrasekhare prabhu agnaya sanatana milila donhare. By the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami met both Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar. Tapan Mishra taba tanre kaila namantrana prabhu kahe shora karaha yaha sanatana. Tapan Mishra then extended an invitation to Sanatana, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sanatana to go get a shave. Chandrasekhara Prabhu kahe bolana evesha durakara yaha inhare lanya. After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Chandrasekhar and asked him to take Sanatana Goswami with him. He also asked him to take away Sanatana's present dress. So he was, unlike the brother-in-law who was unable to convince him to clean up, shave up. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told him to do so, and Sanatana Goswami is very happy to oblige by his Lord's orders. Badra karana tanre ganga snana kalaila sekara aniya tanre nutana vastra dila. Chandrasekhar then made Sanatana Goswami look like a gentleman. He took him to bathe in the Ganges, and afterwards he brought him a new set of clothes. Purport. The words Badra Karanya are significant in this verse. Due to his long hair, mustache, and beard, Sanatana Goswami looked like a Dharavesha, or hippie. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like Sanatana Goswami's hippie features, he immediately asked Chandrasekhar to get him shaved clean. If anyone with long hair or a beard wants to join this Krishna consciousness movement and live with us, he must similarly shave himself clean. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu consider long hair objectionable. Sanatana Goswami was saved from a hellish condition, Maharorava, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maharorava is a hell wherein animal killers are placed. In this regard, refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 26, texts 10 through 12. I won't read that because we know the 5th canto is quite long. Sevastra sanatana na kaila angikara suniya prabhuran mane ananda para. Chandrasekhar offered a new set of garments to Sanatana Goswami, but Sanatana did not accept them. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard news of this, he became unlimitedly happy. Manyana kariya prabhu gela bhiksha kari bare sanatane lanya gela tapan mishwera gare. After bathing at noon, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Tapan Mishra for lunch. He took Sanatana Goswami with him. Pada prakashalayana kari bhikshate vasila sanatane bhikshadeha mishwere kahila. After washing his feet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down for lunch. He asked Tapan Mishra to supply Sanatana Goswami lunch also. Mishra kahe Sanatanera kichu kritya che tumi bhiksha kara prasara tanre diva pache. Tapan Mishra then said, Sanatana has some duty to perform. Therefore, he cannot accept lunch now. At the conclusion of the meal, I shall supply Sanatana with some remnants. I think it's time to greet the deities. There's a little bit more to read about the meal, but we'll read next week. Thank you very much for hearing about the transformation of Sanatana Goswami. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. 75. Yeah.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Ako Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hari Purusham Adipurusham Tamaham Vajami Andani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Vajami 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 Govindam Adi
Namaho Vishnupataya Krishna Prastaya Bhuttaraya Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Samaniti Namandaya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvadi Raja Negi Nivesesha Shunyavane Pasyajagare Zatarande Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Nityananda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radhe. 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 Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe, Jai Om Vishnu Pada.
God. God.
Jai.
Yeah. Yeah. God. 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 Hari. Hari. Hari.
Prabhupada.
God.
Hare Krishna. So remember today, 4:30 to 6:30 in Durham at 5 Points, we'll be having Harinam Sankirtan. And we invite everybody to come and chant. It's going to be a beautiful day. There's also a book distribution going on in Raleigh. And there's information for all these events on the WhatsApp. So please come and join us today, 4:30 to 6:30 for Harinam Sankirtan. 5 Points in Durham. Hare Krishna. Chaitodarpanam marjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyakairavya chandrikavitaranam Vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhi vardhanam Pratipanam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma sapanam Paramvijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita. Very nice. Do the gopi dots. Beautiful. Amamapi Nardaiva Midvishahidam Dhani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kribayata Vapada Pankaja Stija Duli Sadrashim Vichintaya Nainam Galadashu Dharaya Vararam Gad Gadaridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishyava Padamratam Vanastumam Adarshanam Marmahatau Karotuva Yatatatava Viradatu Lampatona Prananatastu Saevanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. They're not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, and think one all prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain.